Welcome, everybody, to Heroes Asylum, issue 115. Or the Mighty Heroes Asylum, of course. My name is Mike.
Mighty Heroes Asylum.
And, of course, there is Kane talking over me again.
I just do that because I like to piss you off sometimes. Keep you in line, sir, like you keep me in line. So.
Exactly. So how you doing today, man? How's your weekend been?
I'm good. I'm pretty good. How about you? How you feeling?
I'm doing good, man. Recovered. Got my first shots. So I got upgraded on Thursday, and so hopefully get my second one here shortly, and I will be able to go back out to public and like strange, handles and things.
You're able to touch strange things in public.
Exactly.
I haven't had my shot yet, but I will. I'm probably gonna make the appointment next couple weeks just to be safe. There's other, opinions I've had, but I think just rather be safe than sorry. So
yeah, I figure I've already had it, and I'll figure get the shot. So I wanted to get my tracker installed, so I knew where I was going. So that way, if anybody asked what I did, I can just tell them to go look on the website.
Yeah, you know where I'm at. I'm home.
Yeah. Trust me, my life is not that exciting. If somebody wants to track me, knock yourself out.
Yeah, well, my life is not exactly, a bag of fun. So just
let's not say that. I hear that you have finally found the final piece.
You know what?
You have been looking for.
I'll tell you, I was so giddy, and I guess to repeat the story, Mike was out earlier today. And he went to GameStop, which I knew GameStop. Of course, if you have a GameStop, they sell video games and all that stuff, T-shirts and action figures. I've been looking for a McFarlane Wonder Woman part of the Build-A-Figure series for Bane, and it's been months. I literally collected the first three really fast, which was Orion, I believe, Straight Jacket Batman, and the weird looking Scarecrow. I got those three right off the bat, so I was good. So I figured. Only a matter of time before I find Wonder Woman, right? Wrong. Not in Target, not Walmart. Go online, sold out. Go to eBay, price gouging up to $70. $70. So anyway, I took the advice of my friend over here, and I was like, you know what? Let me go check GameStop. But I didn't check the Oviedo GameStop. I went down the road a little further to a little town called Winter Springs. There's a little GameStop in there. Pretty big, though. Walk in, look around. Okay. So nobody in the shop, just the attending lady over there. I see the McFarlane figures. I go, oh, there's Gorilla Grodd. There's Green Lantern. I'm like, let me look down. I go, wait a minute. I have Orion. Oh, wait a minute. Straight Jacket Batman. Wait a minute. What, Scarecrow? And then it happened. The light shined. The last Wonder Woman Build-A-Figure. Right.
Found the Holy Grail.
And I snatched that up along with Unmasked Thomas Wayne, which I didn't even know about. So it was a 2-for-1. Got a cool $5 shirt. So yes, success.
Yeah.
Success.
Well, that's like when I went in. I just happened to go in because I saw they had a poster about the Black Series, and for Star Wars, I've been thinking, I kind of there's certain ones I kind of like, and I've also become privy to. Funko Pops have come out, and I sent you the one of Vader, but Funko Pops came out with the Ralph Mcquarrie. Which drawings really that they had, the concept drawings, the concept drawings for for Star Wars, Ralph Mcquarrie did. Well, they did a series actually. I discovered there's a series of the original Yoda where he was like long haired, and the original C-3PO, the original R2, and there's one with the original Chewie. So I was like, I found a 4-pack set online for like $40, which. $44, which honestly, that's not that bad for 4. You're talking like $11 for Pops. That's cheap for Pops.
Yeah, that's cheap,
and especially those. But I really just I was more interested in the Yoda and the Vader one, and the other two I was like, yeah, it'd be kind of cool. The R2 I wasn't really into. The C-3PO I kind of liked because I remember that story that Anthony Daniels told about the first time he saw C-3PO with the Ralph Mcquarrie, where he's like, oh, come be with me, and so it's kind of those kind of iconic ones. So I really was like, hey, maybe I just get the 3, and I thought, well, let me check GameStop because I know they have a pop wall. our friend Cindy, we always like to stop out. When if we we hang out like during the day or something, we'll pop into GameStop because she's just as heavy of a geek as we are. As much as she tries to hide it, but because she's got the full collection of all this the Star Wars for the pops. So I went in there and of course they didn't have it. I'm just it's like look, they've got the dark the McFarlane series, and I've picked up all of the White Knight series. I picked up the fact you're obviously you're not wearing the shirt, sorry, but I picked up the Red Sun Superman, and I'm always out looking for like one that might catch my attention. And when I walked in, I saw that they had the Jokerized Nightwing, which I had never seen before. I was like, that's cool. And then that's when I sent you the picture, and you're like, well, what about Wonder Woman? Of course, you got to realize I always look whenever I hear you're looking for something. When in my search, you're second in line. Like, hey, is anything here? No. So, but yeah, that's what got me to pop into GameStop was the Black Series, and then looking for that Ralph McQuarrie Vader.
Well, it's got to put that on the list, but this is not a free publicity effort, GameStop, but maybe kind of is. If you're looking for McFarlane figures, check them out, because the one I went to had literally an entire section devoted to McFarlane figures. Like the one in Oviedo doesn't have it, has like a small little stand. This one was like literally.
Oh yeah, see the one I went to. This one was like peppered throughout the store. You saw 3 figures here. You saw 6 here. Then I think the Nightwing one was over by the T-shirt rack, all by itself with one other. I think the evil Wonder Woman.
The Drowned.
Yeah,
right?
the Drowned. Yeah, it's over there by I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. But yeah, it was up between the Nightwing and the Scarecrow, because I still love the look of the Scarecrow.
Yeah, I haven't opened him yet, but I'm gonna open him tonight. He looks so. I don't know who designed that look. I don't know if it's just basically off Capullo did it right that's last night.
Yeah, that was Capullo.
Yeah. That's right, but what a weird looking Scarecrow. Even like he has that weird bubble on. I'm gonna take that off tonight when I build Bane. And
that's what I've kind of like. I was like, if I buy the Scarecrow, I gotta get the rest. I know it. I know me. I'm like, not yet. Let me pick up this cool one-off Nightwing one that's kind of by itself. I know it goes along with the Robins. Like I would have to probably pick up King Robin or the Robin King and a couple of the other Jokerized Robins. But right now I'm okay.
Did you see the Damian Wayne at all? Because I saw Damian Wayne Robin, which I was thinking about picking up also.
No, because then if I saw that, I probably would have picked it up with the Nightwing. But
because if I'm going to get King Robin, he's part of another the next line of the Build-A-Figures. You build a Dark Father, which kind of an odd choice, but whatever. But
that's what. All the ones I've gotten are not build or anything. Especially like I figured the White Knight one would have had because that was a whole series. They could have had a one-off.
Yeah, but who do you build? Azrael?
Oh well, no, because Azrael was one of the characters. There's really only 4. There's Joker, Batman, Azrael, and the 2 Azraels.
Yeah.
So I don't know who they could have done. They could have done maybe Nightwing, because Nightwing had his own kind of vibe, but I don't know.
Yeah, but there's no so far I've read that story halfway through, and to me, the only person who's sticking out is Joker so far. To me, his
they could have built Harley Quinn, because I don't think Harley Quinn's out. I don't think I've seen a Harley Quinn for that series.
No, I think they're saving the Harley Quinn for the summer when the Suicide Squad movie comes out.
Right. Well, there's different versions of them out there. Like they could have done the White Knight Harley Quinn, because she's a little different than if anything they could have done on the White Knight.
They could have done that one. Yeah, that's not a bad one.
Yeah, they could have, or like I said, Nightwing.
Or Jim Gordon's in this too, isn't he?
He is. Yeah. But again, I'm not going to say anything. You got to keep watching.
I know. I'm at the midway point, and I'm
reading, not watching. Yeah, dude, you're only on the first book. There's the Curse of the White Knight, which is the follow up, and that's where Azrael comes in.
Oh, I haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah, you got to continue reading. Yeah, so I'll keep reading. But we'll go ahead and start the news, guys. I know Kane and I, we don't get a chance to really talk about that. We are collectors. We love collecting. I've got a bookshelf. I couldn't tell you, maybe as sad as it sounds now that I'm saying it, I probably have 30 pops. On the bookshelf, and I literally
have a trunk full of McFarlane figures and other figures. There are at least 150 in there, and I have my Batcave, which I custom built that I built. Maybe I'll take pictures and I'll put it on the site.
Yeah, so maybe one day soon we'll be able to lay everything out in a
it's
nice setup.
it's gonna be a nice little setup when it all comes together. It's like when a plan comes together, guys.
Yeah. So, but we're gonna go ahead and jump into the news for you guys, so you guys can see this. Actually, what we're gonna start off with is last week. I think it was Monday or Tuesday. I think Monday it dropped the new Venom, which like came out with like no fanfare. Like it just was like there. Like I didn't see any news come out. I didn't see any like usually like
it just dropped.
Yeah, like I know we're getting news about tonight. Later. Oh, well, tonight is Sunday, but later we're gonna the Snake Eyes trailer supposed to drop. Like we didn't get that kind of thing like we normally do. It's kind of weird. It was just like hey, here it is, guys.
Yeah. So
what we're gonna do right now we're gonna go ahead and watch the trailer for Venom, Carnage.
Carnage. There will be carnage.
There will be carnage.
This is an interesting way to open up.
I say either. I say neither.
Yeah,
I don't know about this. Okay, but before you go on, let me say this. I'm not a fan of the funny Venom voice.
No,
to me, you're kind of taking away everything Venom was. Mm-hmm. You kind of neutered him in this first scene.
The first scene, that's why. Yeah, the Venom voice I'm okay with. It's what he's doing.
What he's doing.
Okay with.
He's acting goofy. That's
and that's what I was afraid of when I was like, okay, they're gonna have a success.
They're trying to humanize him. I guess that's their plan, and I get that. But you could still humanize him without making him silly. Now you're making the way I'm thinking it's gonna go now, and I'm kind of afraid is they're gonna make Carnage more terrifying and make Venom like a very silly type of.
Well, yeah. I mean, Carnage has to be terrifying. That's it. Yeah, because of who he is and who he links himself with. But Venom should not be. Venom. I still think Eddie should be having to like. I know there's a note on the wall that says don't eat people, but I think there should be more of him trying to control him. But he's still
and more inner monologue too, like more inner struggle with the Venom symbiote, like not like just like.
Well, this is the trailer, so I don't expect introspective into what the character is. I understand what they're doing right now. They're just giving you a taste, but to start it off a little silly, I don't know. I'm not a fan, but again, Venom was not Venom from the movies. It wasn't Venom from the comic books either. And that's, I have a lot of friends that are loved the first Venom. And I was like, I like it. But again, I guess that's one of the baggages, the things we have to bear as these comic book fans that have been around for a long time, enjoying these shows or reading these books, is we come with the baggage of knowing what these things and these people were and these storylines were. And now we're getting sort of, the watered down commercial version of it. And again, I joke about it. I always call them the sheep, but the regular folks out there, the normies, they eat it up because it's got that fun sci-fi or that fun comic book feel to it, but it's something they can swallow into a pill. I don't know if most normies could handle the regular.
No, I don't think so. Yeah, it's a totally different vibe. But like you said, it made money, and you're gonna go a certain route when you're making a movie.
And when the second one comes around, guess who steps in? Mustache twirling villains. You know what you need to add? Yeah, okay. Well, guess what, man? We did great with the first one without your help. Why don't you step back? But
you know what you need? You need a bottle of Pepsi. Yeah. Put some Pepsi in there. What for? What?
So here we go.
Neither. Let's call the whole thing off. Ta-da! Catch up.
Excuse me.
Yummy.
Good evening, Eddie.
Hey, Mrs. Chen.
Good evening, Venom.
Bunsen Hall, Mrs. Chen.
He says hi.
And again, that there too, that kind of like she knows Venom.
Yeah, it just
it's like really.
I've been thinking about you, Eddie. Because you and I are the same. Every decision we ever make. Who do we leave behind? And how do we leave them? waiting in the darkness for the rescuer who never comes. Welcome back, Eddie Brock. It's
I like
been a
that.
long time.
Little shout out to Spider-Man
Miss
lore with
you.
Ravencroft there.
Well, Ravencroft's been in a lot of things. Yeah, most people forget Ravencroft was also in the New Mutants. So yeah, you'll see. Ravencroft's been in a lot of MCU already. If you watch it.
Yeah, guys, if you don't know what Ravencroft is, quick little thing. It's basically their form of Arkham Asylum. That's the easiest way to say it. Thank God they changed Woody Harrelson's hair for this.
Yeah, they tamed it back.
Thank you. Okay, so we're going a different route.
Soon come chaos. Chaos soon come.
Is the loneliest number that you ever do.
The chocolate delivery hasn't arrived yet.
No!
We had a deal.
What's gonna happen? You gonna stop protecting me?
I am happy to eat, Mrs. Chen.
No, you cannot eat, Mrs. Chen. What? Nothing?
And
Sorry for the choppiness there.
No, it's okay. I was saying that's the money shot right there. It's the quick version you get of the full Carnage, which he looks great.
Yeah,
looks great,
and it's great to see that Mickey Knox is back. I mean, I always wonder what happened to him after Natural Born Killers. So now I see. That's basically who Woody's playing. I mean, when you hear the voice.
So Mickey went to jail for all those years, changed his name to Cletus.
Yep.
And then he becomes Carnage.
Well, his middle name's Cletus. It's Mickey Cletus Knox. That's really.
Oh, see, I totally forgot about that. There you go. You have a direct tie into Natural Born.
Exactly. Yeah. Oliver Stone does it again.
Has he done anything lately?
I
haven't heard from Oliver Stone in a long time.
So, but yeah, it's they're continuing with the route that they did in Venom, which I like that they're continuing with that. There was a science in this corporation trying to mess with Venom, and mess with the symbiotes, and so that's I kind of see that route when they do try to do the the injection on them.
I didn't think a world full of symbiotes would work, but the way they've done it, obviously to the normies out there, it's worked, and I like the first Venom. I mean, I'm gonna have opinions, of course, and so are you, because we know a lot more of the lore that happens in Venom, and we know like what it truly means to have a symbiote inside of it, or inside of the character itself. But for what this is, it's not bad. Like okay, I want to see it now. Does it blow me away? No, but it'll get me in the theaters. Yeah,
it definitely will. I guess the one thing I feel that the regular folks that are just watching it from that perspective, they're missing the Spider-Man connection. Because there were some great stories between the tension and the conflict between Spider-Man and Venom, and then it wasn't that Venom was like trying to escape. He learned his humanity by battling Peter Parker and by battling Spider-Man, and that's how he became softer and became more understanding of the human race. And I think that's what's and that's what I missed in it. And I understand it can survive without Spider-Man, that because it has, and it's and they're growing. I feel like that some of those stories are really, really important. And
I really wonder if going forward. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
Going forward with because they exist in the same universe. That's known. We know that now.
No, from what I heard a couple weeks ago. Really?
Yeah. There's some Easter
I'll have to find that article.
Yeah, check it out, because they said they're doing the same universe. I wonder if that happens, because eventually he's gonna have to run into the symbiote. That's a big Spider-Man storyline. You just can't leave alone. But I wonder if that does happen, and you have an established Eddie Brock who's out there, and let's say he goes to New York, and maybe like another, I don't know, maybe some other symbiote latches onto Peter, and he becomes like all massively evil. If it's actually going to be Eddie Brock who's going to talk to Peter Parker about his humanity, since he's had the Venom symbiote inside of him for a while, I wonder if it's Peter who goes crazy. I mean, I just thought about that, like just flipping the story, like where you had it with Eddie and his humanity and Peter and all that. And actually it was Peter, hey, Eddie, get it off you. If Eddie is going to be that guy for Peter now.
Could possibly be.
It's a different take. And like when you first said that, that's the first thing popped in my mind. I was like, ooh, they could just flip it. Like, Eddie's established, and then, Peter takes on the symbiote, and then he goes all nuts. And it's Eddie who has to talk him out of it. I don't know. They could do something. I mean, I don't know what they're going to do, but it'd just be a different
I mean, if they are in the same universe, they said they are, but with a twist. So, never mind. I don't want to talk about that. That was twist? From the that was from the website that we don't talk about.
Oh, okay. The one that
now the one way they could connect it and kind of bring folks around is if they do secret invasion,
yeah.
And have Venom and Eddie Brock go in there, and then something happens to Eddie to where Venom has to connect himself to Peter. Now he's already got the connection to the humanity because of Eddie. Now he's lost his host. And now he's out for vengeance, and he gets connected with Peter, and now they have to battle that out. That Venom wants blood, he wants that revenge blood, but Peter's like, no, we have to. We don't kill. We don't, and they have that inner conflict. I mean, that would be a fun route to go.
Yeah, see, that's another good route you could use too. That's another good one. I mean, like I said, either or is a possibility. I mean, I don't know, down the line, maybe Secret Wars, another option if they want to do that, but that might take too long. But I don't know. There's a lot of ways they can do it and tie it in together. That's just a couple of the possibilities that just popped in my head.
Definitely. So, what do you have for any news? You got anything new that came out? I know it's been a kind of a slow week.
It's new, but you know what I do have? I do have our first images of Netflix's Masters of the Universe Revelation from Kevin Smith. We finally got an air date of July 26th. And I am pulling up the images right now. I'm not sure.
I've got them right in front of me. Yeah, because that was probably one of the ones I have.
I gotta say, coming from the old series to this new series, first off, the animation looks dope.
Yeah,
looks incredible. I love it. Because they're moving forward with the story. It kind of reminds me of that Masters of the Universe TV show I was telling you about.
A little, yeah. Very
similar to those images. The only question I have is the final image. I'm not sure if you've seen it. And I'm not sure which order it has. There's an image of Evelyn. It looks like Tila. Some dark-skinned girl. A guy in the back who looks like he's Darkwing Duck, but with a robot. And an Orko.
Yeah, Orko with evil eyes. Yeah, I see. I look at that. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're going to portray Orko not as the clumsy.
He looks very sinister, that pic, man.
That's what I mean. Maybe he will be not evil, but maybe he'll just be mad. Maybe it's not so much, evil, just mad, and he's not this bumbling oaf, that we don't need anymore. We don't need that.
He's like a dark sorcerer now. Sorcerer Orko.
Yeah.
Dude,
I'm just floored with the voice cast. You have Chris Wood as He-Man, Mark Hamill as Skeletor, Lena Headey as Evil Lynn, Sarah Michelle Gellar as Tila, Henry freaking Rollins as Triclops, Phil Lamar as Hero, Kevin Michael Richardson's as Beastman, Kevin Conroy as Merman. I mean, you want to talk about a who's who for voice acting, and I mean, just blows my mind.
Those guys ain't cheap. Cast. I'm just gonna say those guys were not cheap.
So none of those guys are cheap, and they're all good. I mean, you're throwing Kevin Conroy in as Merman. Yeah,
that's like the weirdest part. Like out of all the characters he's gonna play, Merman. I wonder if Merman's gonna have a big arc now, just because Kevin Conroy is there.
And then Hamill as Skeletor. I mean, I can't wait to hear his take.
On
Skeletor. It's because I've heard him do evil characters before. I mean, yes, the Joker's the big one, but you look at his his credits, and he's had a long list of some pretty evil characters, and I can't wait to hear his take on what he does.
It's not Joker. That's what I'm worried about.
But that's what I was saying. It's not. He's got a long list of characters that he's done that are evil, and none of them sound like the Joker.
Okay, that's what I was worried about. Just don't make it.
Joker. No, look at his credits. You'll be like, oh, shit.
Okay. I'll
I mean, it's going to have a
Mark.
tone to it, but it's not going to be Joker. You know, he won't. That's if you're having Kevin Smith involved in this, you know, he's coming up to Mark going, "Hey, dude, let's amp it up a little bit."
No,
And you got to realize the Joker voice was done. You know, we're talking almost 30 years ago. You know, I hate to hurt people's people's feelings, but so you're talking about a man 30 years younger doing Joker. His voice, his timbre, his wear and tear on his throat is gonna be different. So you're not gonna get the same voice either. You know, because again, it's 30 years different. So
it looks good. It looks good. Like I said, the first part, I guess it's Revelations Part 1 till July 26th. No announcement on Part 2, but I'm sure
they're probably going to do something like they did with Transformers.
Yeah, I think it's going to be. I think exactly that's what's going to happen.
And now I'm crossing my fingers. They've conquered Transformers, or are almost done with Transformers. They got I think the third of the series comes out this summer as well.
Which I haven't seen the second one yet. I got to
check that out. Yeah, you got to watch that. You'll grumble. I know I'll get the look in the face when you get to the very last 30 seconds of it because of where it ends. But I like how it ends. It connects the two universes together beautifully. I think you last 30 seconds you get introduced to the Beast. Or characters. Say, there's the face I was talking about, folks. But the way they merge them in together was beautiful. I was like, oh, okay, kind of. It was perfect. I was like, okay, that's cool how they did it. That way, there's not like this weird hiccup from like the series that they had, you know, from the G1 to that. But I'm crossing my fingers if they're doing these 80s revivals. I'd love to see them try to do a new G.I. Joe. Thundercats. I know Thundercats has been attempted. G.I. Joe's had some really great ones.
The Thundercats one wasn't that bad. It was only on for one season, which is a tragedy. They were going somewhere with that.
Yeah. But you look at like G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe's had Revelations. It's had Renegade. I mean, those were some really cool takes on it. I think Renegade was like a small mini series, but it was a really cool one. Then there was a short-lived G.I. Joe series, and that one really delved truly into the real mythology of Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow and the Clan. Speaking of which, tonight you were saying it's after or during or not tonight, but by the time you guys hear this, it'll probably be for the it'll be on the what'd you say the
MTV Music Awards. Yeah, if anybody still watches that.
Yeah, that's what I was like. So it looks like new images will be revealed for the Ninja Action live action G.I. Joe or Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins, which makes me feel are they going to try to start doing some new ones, like other origin stories, which I think will be kind of cool. So
what, just do all origins and then actually make a team up G.I. Joe movie?
Probably. Well, I mean, you're going to have Scarlet, you're going to definitely have Baroness in this, Storm Shadow, obviously. I don't know if they're going to do that. I mean, this is a great place to start because when you really think of the timeline of G.I. Joe, I know they're not following the comic book that well. I don't know because I haven't seen the movie, but from what I can see, I don't think they're really following the comic book that close. But in the timeline of G.I. Joe, this happened first, really. Other than the fact that Stalker and Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow were all members of a unit together, and that's where he lost his voice. But obviously, it doesn't look like he's lost his voice yet. I know you and I had this talk a couple of days ago about it. It is an origin story. It says it in the title, so yes, I understand. We see his face. We hear his voice. We see a picture of the mask in the poster. He'll have to wear the mask because of the damage that's going to get done, and maybe at that point he'll lose his voice at the same time by the end of the movie. That's why I hope, being an old school purist, I'm sure it's probably not all going to happen.
And would you say as a G.I. Joe enthusiast? I mean, I am as well, but you're probably a little bit more than I am. Would you say this is the right way to go with a Snake Eyes movie first, then bleed out to the rest of the characters? Then
because again, because he's the Wolverine. He's the badass of the group. He's not the blue-eyed. Well, he was in the comic books. He was the blue-eyed, blonde-haired, regular American guy. but after he got hurt, it became Duke. Well, you don't want to see the origin of Duke. Another, again, it's white men are not good for movies and TV shows anymore. not to be bashing on it, but really anybody white with a penis, nobody wants to see it, or nobody's putting it into the into the theaters anymore, really. Which I understand. You want diversity, you want different flavors to it, but you also don't want to forget that person either. You don't want to forget that group also. But again, I've never been a fan of that group either, but it's good that they're in there. But Snake Eyes I think would be the perfect route to go, because again, he was the origin of one of the most important characters. He does link a lot of people together. Like I said, the original
probably one of the most popular characters. Would you say, like you said, Wolverine?
He's the Wolverine of G.I. Joe. Yeah. So that's why when I use that reference, anytime I use that reference, I'm referring he's the Batman. He's the Batman of that universe. Okay.
Oh, there you go.
Let's put it to language you would. Yeah. Let's put it to a language you would easily understand.
A Major Blood movie. So.
That would be fun, actually. Oh, Major Blood. Him spouting off bad poetry in some coffee shop. Oh. I'd love to see what they would do. Honestly, the other person I think that would have a great history, and they sort of touched on it in the other G.I. Joe movies, was Destro. The Destro's family history.
His family history. They did a little bit of it in that.
The first movie. Yeah, the first movie, they kind of explained a little bit about the mask and stuff like that.
I'm not a hater of that first movie. I just don't like some of the things they did, especially with Cobra Commander. I thought that was weak.
Yeah, having him
come out.
Yeah, it was. Well, again, you got to realize the true origin of Cobra Commander is he was a down and out Amway salesman, and basically what happened is his sister, was it his sister or no, his brother? His brother was a drunk driver and got killed in an accident. He actually killed Snake Eyes' family. That's where the connection between those two come into play, and he feels that it was Snake Eyes' family's fault that his brother died. But when the police reports all came out, was that no, his brother was a full-blown alcoholic and drunk and ran into the other side of the road, and that's where he started becoming. That's where he went after Snake Eyes, and that's when he went to the clan, and the Grand Master got killed, and there's a long history. So that's why I'm very curious what they're doing this story. They're having the Baroness in here already, so I wonder if that part of the story is going to be included, because it's very strange to have the Baroness in here, and very strange to have Scarlet in here.
I wonder if they're going the route that Cobra and G.I. Joe already exist in this world.
They might, and this might be like kind of like a flashback movie.
Maybe, yeah.
I could kind of see that.
I'm just thinking that, or maybe that it's the origin of Snake Eyes, but the Joes are still out there, and maybe at the end they recruit him. I don't know. There's a lot of things they could do. So I don't know.
Yeah,
that's one of the many routes they can go to. This is a new territory. I mean, they're rebooting G.I. Joe, which, like I said, I did not hate the first one. The second one I thought was a little bit better. Not great, a little bit better, but it looks like they're diving into that lore, especially with Snake Eyes. And
it looks like that they're taking cues from Bumblebee. I think they really saw what happened with Bumblebee, and they're taking cues from that. So we'll see.
Travis Knight was a guy who put he was a fan.
Yeah.
He even said it. If you remember that Comic-Con panel that he had, he was talking about, hey man, I want to make it go back to what I love, which was the G1 stuff. And he incorporated a lot of the G1 stuff, and there was a lot of heart in that film too. It wasn't all about robots; it was about Bumblebee, and somehow you made it into a new Transformers reboot movie without even knowing you did it. So,
and of course, he threw in the perfect reference to the '86 movie.
Oh yeah, you got the touch.
I felt so bad. I went to an early screening, and I wish you were there. I was there with our friend Cindy and our friend Steve-O, and like I said, we were there with an early viewing of it. And when that played, Cindy, me, and maybe 5 other people in the theater clapped. Like it was such like it was like such an inside baseball kind of it was such a deep cut that I don't think a lot of folks got it.
Mm.
So I thought it was kind of funny. I was like, oh man, nobody caught that.
Especially that song is legendary, man. Especially
so got to ask you. You're a fan. I know you are. And I know it's an honor of kind of somebody that, inspired us to start the podcast. But John Schnepp, it has been confirmed. Metalocalypse movie is coming to Adult Swim.
Can't wait. Schnepp is smiling up from the sky at us right now. I mean, just to see that movie getting made. I mean, there's a lot of movies. I think a couple other ones are going to be going.
They're doing Aqua Teen Hunger Force, and my favorite, and I can't wait for this, Venture Brothers.
That's going to be.
I love the Venture Brothers. Yeah, they're doing a Venture Brothers movie as well.
I can't.
And just so you know, soundtracks are coming for both of those, at least for Metal and
finally,
the Venture Brothers.
Somebody's been listening.
Yeah, so it looks like they will be having a soundtrack release for Venture Brothers, and of course, they're going to have one for something from Deathlock again.
Oh my god, of course. That whole soundtrack is going to be all Deathlock. I wonder if the Deathlock or Metalopolis Batman would make an appearance in this movie.
I don't know. I saw your co-host for your wrestling show made a post on our page with the Batman video. Did you see that?
Yeah, that's great. I love it.
I was like, awesome.
So ridiculous, but I love it. But hey, I'm ecstatic, especially Metalopolis. It's long overdue, and like I said, John Schnepp must be smiling right now. Yeah. Making it to a movie, but it should be into these things.
So what do you got next?
Hey, McFarlane released some new figures this week.
I have not heard about that.
Oh yeah, man. He released a couple of them that are actually of interest to me right now. But one particular one, it's a pre-order, is Dr. Fate. Injustice version of Dr. Fate. That, and it's another version, it's an Injustice version of Flash. It's got a white suit, which is, I don't remember that one. But
I played Injustice. I don't remember Dr. Fate being like different.
You got to look at it. Because I don't think they have a full-blown version of Dr. Fate out there figure-wise, but
no, they don't. Yeah, this will probably they do for the animated, the Justice League Unlimited back, the 90s. They had one there, but
if you see this image, man, it looks amazing. Even the I guess what they call it, this what is it called? It's just called Injustice Flash. It looks he's all white. I don't know why he's all white, but whatever. So, but it looks so cool, and especially since you and I are both big Dr. Fate sweaties.
Yeah,
I was thinking that maybe that might go on your list.
Well, now that I know about it, yeah, I probably will.
So you should definitely check.
So, hey, did you see the picture of Jensen?
Yeah, I did.
for the Boys 3.
Oh my god, where's that beard coming from, man? That's ridiculous.
Well,
are they going like they found Soldier Boy in the ice or something? I wonder if they're going old Cap style.
Well, they may. Again, I'm not. That's reaching into a volume of the Boys I haven't read yet. But yeah, maybe that's the route they're going. But yeah, I was like, when I first saw the picture, I was like, wait a second, who? Well, Soldier Boy fought in World War II. He became a first super celebrity, mainstay American culture, and his emergence. So yeah, so maybe they might kind of be going that direction
because they name dropped him in season 2. The organization Vought, the guy who runs Vought. He was like, yeah, well, Soldier Boy's out there somewhere, but they didn't say where.
So maybe that's what it is. Maybe he's not like locked in ice. Maybe when they say he's somewhere, he might have gone the Yoda route and just found a cabin in the woods and just turned into a hermit. Or I guess I can reference somebody earlier. Snake Eyes. He had a cabin in the woods. That he just kind of vanished to.
Yeah. So like I said, I want to see where they're going. You're one of the people who thinks that Boys should have ended after season 2, but
mine that's I know that's mine. That's one I brought up to you. I was like, hey, I think that season 2 is a good, nice ending to it.
But hey, they keep adding. There's more stories to be known. So it looks cool. He looks cool. But that's what I got there. And go for Jensen.
So what else you got?
I think I have one more here.
Because I got something special we're gonna do.
I know you do. Here it is. Superman and Lois showrunner teases John Diggle is coming back to the Arrowverse. We all love John Diggle.
Okay, to me personally, I'm going to put this out there. I don't count that as the Arrowverse. There is nothing to me that tells me that's Arrowverse other than that's the same actors.
It's named as the Arrowverse, and I guess he's part of the Arrowverse, so I guess that's the way it's named. It just says that the showrunner teases he's going to come back for the 12th episode of this season's Lois and Superman. He's going to be in The Flash, Supergirl Legends, and it just talks about the thread. Obviously, he's going to be doesn't say anything about Green Lantern, but it says he's going to be dealing with something that happened at the end of Arrow. And if you guys watch the end of Arrow, you know what happened. was an explosion and a box. He opened it up and it was green. And
let's hope. Let's see them go that route. I would love to see that.
Let's see.
And like I said, yeah. So far, everything from the I know it's only 5 episodes, but so far everything in Lois and Clark just screams this is outside of the Arrowverse. The feel of the show, the filming of the show, just everything tells me. I mean, I don't know how I would feel to see somebody come back from the Arrowverse like to guest star. I don't know if it just feel kind of weird.
I don't know neither. But it'll be interesting to find out. I mean, I like everything about Lois and Superman and Lois. It's totally different, but yet still the same. It incorporates a lot of different versions of Superman in there, especially like the beginning pilot where you saw him wear the old style suit. Although that was kind of
I love it. Yeah.
So they're cherry picking off Superman lore, which I like. And I'm not the biggest Superman guy in the world, but this show, and especially the background thread, which we don't know of, is of this other Luthor coming from another planet. Obviously, the multiverse, when the multiverses collided, he ended up there. But his experience with that other version of Superman, I want to see the flashbacks. I want to know what happened to that world.
Yeah.
Especially that name tag, which I cannot find anywhere. That hell name tag.
You can't. Not yet. It'll come out eventually. Don't worry.
Okay.
Let it get out there for a little bit. I mean,
but yep, Diggle's going to be back, so look for him. Probably starting next month, I would say. So
awesome. Well, guys, we're going to do something a little different. It's been a slow week, and I've discovered TikTok as a 40-year-old man, and I have come across a few videos that I thought were fun because they called them Star Wars Bestie Questions. And I thought, what better than right here, us to talk and do a little Star Wars. Sorry, get goosebumps when I watch it.
Okay, you got theme music. I didn't know you had that.
Yeah,
nice.
So what we're gonna do, Kane and I are gonna ask a series of answer a series of questions. I have not let Kane see these yet.
No, you haven't.
No, and I really have not tried to think about them. So that way, it's a little fresh for both of us. I mean, I wrote down the questions. I've seen them, but I really didn't try to think too hard about them. So the first question is favorite trilogy.
The OG trilogy.
Original trilogy. Okay.
Original trilogy, hands down. That's not even that's not even a question to me. It's not even a doubt. OG trilogy.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, I agree with you on that one. Favorite character.
The Emperor.
Throughout the whole series. The whole series,
I think he was literally the puppet master of literally 6, kind of almost 9 movies.
No, he was 9 movies.
Think about it.
It was.
He had an incredible. You think of his arc through 6 movies.
Yeah,
incredible.
Especially really, the Star Wars saga itself and all 9 movies really were his story.
Yeah, kind of worked. Especially his rise in the Republic, to where he came into the beginning of the Empire, and then the way he was able to manipulate everything behind the scenes. I love that. I thought he was my favorite. Plus, he had so many great scenes with him, especially in the prequels. I mean, the prequels are not my favorites, but they have moments in there where you're like, wow, this is Star Wars, and he was part of those scenes. So definitely Emperor.
For me, Obi-Wan. I just love Obi-Wan to death. Just the progression of what he becomes, how he gets there. I mean, going from a very old Padawan, but then to where he becomes this master, just like his master was. Favorite movie.
Empire,
but
a little bit below it is The Last Jedi.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of The Last Jedi. I mean,
mine would be Revenge.
You like Revenge?
Yeah. My second kind of just below Empire. Yeah, would be Revenge. I think both of them. I don't know if that says anything about me, but they both kind of end downer in a way.
Yeah, both depressing ends.
I probably don't have to ask the question, but I need to because it is on this list. Jedi or Sith?
Sith.
Very good. All right, Sith. Yeah. Now I have something that somebody
what about you?
Up with. Jedi, okay. Of course. Somebody brought this to my attention. I thought it was kind of an interesting conversation I had on a chat board. They made the comment that Kylo, Ben Solo, was the chosen one.
I've heard that.
Because if you think about it, he's really the one that united them together. He's the one that brought balance. He's the only one in all the saga that did what Plagueis said that he could do.
Yeah.
He could stop death. Yes, Palpatine extended age. He was plugged into a machine. Yes, he was able to absorb life. And somebody said the reason Kylo was able to absorb or learn how to give life was because he just saw Palpatine take it away. So, but I thought that was kind of an interesting one. It's like, yeah, I mean, a lot of folks really hate Ben.
No, I don't. I'm not a hater of Kylo Ren. I know a lot of people do. I kind of appreciate the character for what he is. I didn't think he was whiny at all. I just thought he was immature, but not whiny. It's like a little kid.
And our other conversation was at the end of the last the Rise of Skywalker was I told him, I was like, I think we were talking about it, and I was like, so what did you think? Did you think she should have said Solo or Skywalker at the end? Should she have said Solo? Should she have said Palpatine? Yes, I know. We know she did say Skywalker, and everybody went, eh.
Yeah, I thought she should have said nothing.
Exactly. That's what I said. I told him that's exactly what I told him.
She would have just said nothing, and
she should have turned to the old lady and said, "My name is Rey," and it went to black.
That's it. Just Rey.
Yeah,
that's all you were. No Skywalker. It was terrible, awful.
Or she could have said Solo, and paid homage to.
Which would have made sense, to keep the Solo bloodline going. But hey,
favorite lightsaber color.
I like the purple one by Mace Windu. I mean, red is my favorite, but something with that purple one.
Well, it's it's one for a bad motherfucker.
Yeah.
And did you know that is actually written on his lightsaber?
I think when we did the prequel watch along, that we said that it's actually written there.
Mine is actually the yellow one for the guards, which Ahsoka eventually ends up with the yellow one because again. She would be my second favorite character between her and Obi-Wan. Those are the two. Favorite vehicle.
Favorite vehicle. Can it be in space as well?
Oh, anything. It can be, anything.
Shoot, the X-Wing.
X-Wing?
The X-Wing fighter, yeah.
All right.
Right next to that is the Millennium Falcon, but I love the X-Wing.
I'm a fan of the Y-Wing, but a Ghost is my second.
That's another good one.
Yeah.
Forgot about the Ghost.
Now this is a tough one for you. Okay, I know you got to bring your feels into this. Okay, and you just got to take them out, dust them off, blow off the dust. Who's your favorite couple?
Han and Leia.
Han and Leia.
All
right. That's a tough one for me. I'm here joking about blowing up and brushing off your feels.
Yeah,
that is a tough one for me.
They had the best story. I mean, I'm not where they ended up. I mean, I didn't like that, but the way it was building, especially in Empire, then in Jedi, and they were the best.
Yeah.
I
don't know. I think Poe. I think Poe and his one friend.
Finn.
The girl.
Oh, Rose.
No, not Rose. No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean Finn. Poe and what's her name? The girl from Rise.
Her? Yeah,
because I love their interaction. It reminded me of Han and Leia, but like she's like, nah, I know who you are. I know what you did. Like at the very, very, very end of it, everybody's celebrating, everybody's hugging. They had
more scenes with them. They like them together.
But that one scene of everybody's hugging and kissing, celebrating, and everything, and they see each other, and he just kind of stops, gives her a look, and like, does a little head bob, like, hey, you want to go? And she's like, no. Favorite droid. Let's just go with
favorite
one.
Droid.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm still R2 all the way. Although I do like BB-8 and I like Chopper, but it's R2, man.
Yeah. Chopper, I'm a fan of, but God, what was the name? I can never remember. I'm always bad. K2SO.
K2SO.
Yeah, from Rogue One was right up there. Wasn't a fan of the one from Solo, Lando's girlfriend.
I hated that.
Just was like
political freaking.
Everybody bitched about Jar Jar. I heard nobody complain about the stereotype of that droid. Because when you she's playing a black woman, plain and simple. And she's even got a booty the way the way the robot walked. I mean, it was just like, I was like, no, okay, did nobody learn from Jar Jar? Like, try not to do that.
Yeah.
All right. I
Weird.
know you've already named a villain as your favorite character, but who would be your favorite villain? Let's take your favorite character out,
Mm.
and let's just go with your favorite villain. If obviously we already know, Palpatine is your favorite character. Who would be your favorite villain?
Oh man, I can't use Palpatine again.
Yeah.
For what they did with him after the prequels in the animated series, I would say Maul, because I like the way they developed Maul. Like, he wasn't just a one-note death sliced in half. And they gave him substance in Rebels, and you actually saw him again in Solo at the end. I like Maul. I like where Maul went after that.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, that was going to be my answer. Yeah, the journey of Maul from this one note kind of villain in the first one who made a major impact. I mean, he really, when you look at him, he was the Boba of the first movie.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just the story arc, but the voice acting for him. Just drew a blank on the gentleman's name.
Sam Witwer, right?
Yeah, Sam Witwer. The anger, the brokenness that he portrays when not Visage, Savage. Yeah, sorry, I was right. I was questioning myself. When Savage finds him and like they do this like mini battle, and just his constant like wanting to, he still feels like he has to prove himself to the Emperor,
especially the Emperor. Yeah,
and he's constantly going. He's built these legs, and he's just going and going and going, even to the point where I think it was season 5 or 6 where he finally meets Palpatine, and that's when like Palpatine like kills Visage, and it's like, and that's when he realizes, okay, wait, my master doesn't care for me anymore. Completely. I think his story arc, when you have the folks that just watch the movies, they think he's a very small part, but when you look deeper into Clones and Rebels, like you said, you see this amazing sub story. Yeah. And Sam brought so much life and pain to the character. And if anybody ever wants to
substance, man, like a lot of depth, just a lot of.
Well, anybody ever wants to watch, look it up on YouTube, and you can find videos of him doing the voice. And I think the best one is it's him and Clancy Brown, because Clancy did the voice for Savage, and it's like you could see the look on Clancy's face. He was done, couldn't tell you, unlimited numbers of the voiceover work, and he's just watching him just like contort into Maul. When you watch it, Sam do it, he becomes Maul. It's very interesting to watch.
Mm-hmm.
And so my last question. And this is a what-if question. Could Anakin Skywalker, before his fall, defeat Darth Vader?
Before his fall?
Yes. Before his fall.
Could he beat Vader?
Yes. Could he basically beat his future self?
No.
I say the same thing.
I think Vader would destroy him, because Vader he's dealing with loss. Loss drives you. So does pain.
Yeah,
and when you have that pain and loss as a motivating factor, you'll win.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. That's what. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Yes, the stories and everything that we hear about Anakin, and yes, he was one with the Force. He was stronger with the Force when he was a whole person. He lost a lot of his connection with the Force when he lost limbs, and but I think with the power and the anger, that comes with the dark side, Vader became more powerful than him, and I don't think Anakin would take those. I understand we're talking about the same person, but I don't think Anakin would do those things.
Question too, because it's almost like the battle in the mind. Who's going to win? Is it going to be Vader or Anakin? I think Vader wins because just like I just said, that pain that you have something that's like that makes you go on. And like he didn't know what happened to Padme, right? And when he found out, he was in pain. And even in the comic books, it shows in a couple panels. I think he goes back to Naboo and he goes to Padme's grave. And it's like that's still the inner conflict between Anakin and Vader.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could see there's a small smidge of Anakin in there, but more Vader.
Well, there's also a deleted scene that just recently came out that got that actually got animated, that was cut from the Clone Wars, and it's a scene between Anakin and Obi-Wan just after Ahsoka left the Order, and you can see the pain already there before losing Padme. You could see the broken heart, the distrust of the Jedi Council, the Jedi's period. And him and Obi-Wan having this conversation. He's like, what if they turned on me and I left and I failed you?
See, that's one of the
and
things.
Obi-Wan's like, he asked
Obi-Wan.
Look it up. Yeah, he asked Obi-Wan. He's like, what would you do if that happened? Wouldn't you feel less? And they're at a campsite, like on some planet, and you see Obi-Wan laying down, and just the camera goes right to his face, and he's like, I would feel that I didn't, that I let you down. It was like, well, it's a really, really deep scene. And I can get why they kind of sort of cut it out, because I think it was a little too deep for the show. And yes, they were still trying to keep it kid friendly.
Yeah.
That was but it's when you see that scene, watch it, guys. I'll try to post it on our Facebook page. And it's just really deep. I'm like, man, why did they, again, I understand why they cut it, but at the same time, I'm like, man.
Isn't it funny how a series like Clone Wars can turn the Anakin Skywalker character from what he was in the films to something with more depth, almost like they did with Maul. Yep. That's why I love Clone Wars so much. They take these characters that you freaking like, oh man, they like Anakin, he was so freaking whiny and everything, and you bring him over to Rebels, you get more time to develop them, you see what it's like, and you can see that descent with Anakin throughout.
They peel the onion back.
Yes,
really.
Peel the layers back. And then we talked about Maul. He's another guy which I love, because again, you peel the layers back. What is this guy made of? Oh, look at, they killed his brother. Oh, he's got another thing on top of that. So just a lot of things that those, especially animated series, are able to do nowadays.
And that's why I one of our my closest friends, Steve-O, we've always had that conversation of, he is a purist in movies, is all Star Wars. I think he's changed his tune now, but originally it was, he felt anything outside of the movies was fan fiction, basically.
Which is a little silly.
It was silly, and in a way it was fan fiction. I get it,
but it's a little
yeah, I mean, in a way it was fan fiction. It was Dave Filoni who's the biggest fan. He was the biggest sweaty. The only difference between him and us, he sat at the altar of Lucas, was given literally given the book about Star Wars, and was told the inner workings of every character. He was explained why in Empire did somebody do this from Lucas. So he had a much more in-depth thought process and understanding of these characters. And that's what, I know Cindy and I always, used to talk to our friend Steve about that. And we're like, no, you really need to get that, because you're missing a good 80% of these stories and of what these people really are. The things you see of Obi-Wan are great, but you're going to miss that whole layer of him and finding out, how he feels and why he feels the way he does in New Hope after failing Vader, and why he doesn't tell the true story to Luke. That he talks about them being separate people. Anakin was one person, Vader was somebody else, because that's who it was.
Because that's who it was to him. Like, he knew Anakin as his best friend.
His brother, yeah.
His brother. Like, one of the best things they did about in Revenge of the Sith was they showed that what relationship them as brothers. Like, they didn't have that in the first two movies. I get it, because he was still growing up, but you had that brotherhood. Like, hey, you remember when I saved you that one time? Oh, and it's like that banter. They didn't have that until that last movie. And in Clone Wars, you get more of that, because they're brothers. They're on the same level now. I mean, one of them is not technically a master, but which is silly in its own right. But they have that relationship that you need. And then when that fall finally happens, he's heartbroken, because he's lost a family member. He's like, and that's why he said it to Luke, like, yeah, man, Darth Vader killed your father, and in a way, he was right from a certain point of view.
Exactly. It's always from a certain
point of view. So.
All right, guys. Well, that is everything that we have. I love these questionnaires. I'm going to try to find some more about some.
Those are good. We should do more of those.
Yeah, some other ones. It was kind of you brought this kind of up to my attention doing the questions at the end of your Low Blows and Chair Shots podcast. So the wrestling show you do. That you always have kind of like this. Hey, what's your favorite belt? What's your favorite match? And I kind of wanted to. It's kind of tough to go with that with the themes that we do. So I think I'm going to try to find one thing. Who knows? Maybe next week it'll be DC. Maybe it'll be Marvel. Maybe it'll be Battlestar Galactica. Who knows?
It'll be something.
Try to find some questionnaires. And if anybody has any ideas for questions or ideas, just shoot us a message over on Facebook, and we'll be able to. I'll look it up and see what I can do to put them together. Don't forget this week for our midnight movies for Kane's other show. We are going to have Willy Wonka.
Willy Wonka is coming out this week. Yep.
The original, not the other one. We don't like to talk about the other one. Shh. So the original one with Gene Wilder, and so make sure you guys stop, get some candy, get some schnozberries. If you're like me, get some sugar-free candy. They're out there, and just watch.
It was actually one of the fun ones. I loved it. I think I spent most of the movie trashing the remake, but it's okay because that's how much
there was. Yeah, I had to rein. I was able to rein you in on this one. Not as bad as Batman. But I was able to rein you in a little bit more. I was like, okay, let's come back.
But at least you joined. You were like, I hate the remake too.
I was not a fan. Not a fan. Even though the remake was a little bit closer to the book, but still, sometimes being close to the book isn't always a good thing. And I do apologize for my fellow readers out there. Yeah, sometimes being just like the book isn't always great when it hits the big screen.
Accurate. Yep, that is true, my friend.
All right, guys. Well, make sure you guys do check us out on Facebook. And like I said, we do have Kane's other two podcasts. If you guys look down at the bottom of the descriptions for our podcasts, or if you're on YouTube or Facebook, you'll see the links down to the bottom for Midnight Movies. And once a week, we get wrestling reviews and news from Kane and a guest.
That's right. Kane and guests. Check us out on our social media platforms as well, at the Heroes Asylum _podcast on Twitter, on Instagram at the Heroes Asylum. Check out Low Blows and Chair Shots, also on Instagram, also on Twitter. And as always, from Mike to me to you, get to the asylum. Have a good night.